Daily express our character. It's easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. If you're going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception, it's a prevailing attitude. Successful people aren't born that way. They become successful by establishing the habits of doing things unsuccessful people don't like to do. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. Feeling sorry for yourself and your present condition is not only a waste of energy, but the worst habit you could possibly have. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Good habits formed at youth make all the difference. If your habits don't line up with your dream, then you either need to change your habits or change your dream. The chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they are too strong to be broken. First we form habits, then we form us. Conquer your bad habits, or they'll eventually conquer you. All people are the same, only their habits differ. In a nutshell, your health, wealth, happiness, fitness, and success depend on your habits. By simply breaking some of your more ingrained habits, you will likely dissolve away your suffering. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Productivity is never an accident. It's always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. You see, in life, lots of people know what to do, but few people actually do what they know. Knowing is not enough. You must take action. Focus on being productive instead of busy. Simplicity boils down to 2 steps. Identify the essential, eliminate the rest. Sometimes things may not go your way, but the effort needs to be there every single night. If there are 9 rabbits on the ground, if you want to catch one, just focus on one. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Nothing is particularly hard when you divide it into small jobs. Real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing nobody's going to know whether you did it or not. Action is the foundational key to all success. Amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. Success is often achieved by those who don't know that failure is inevitable. Nothing is less productive than to make more efficient what should not be done at all. Far and away, the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. There are 2 roads which humans can follow, one of wisdom and the other of ignorance. The path of the masses is generally the path of ignorance, which leads them into negative situations, thoughts, and deeds. These in turn lead to ill health and sorrow in life. The other road is based on wisdom, and it leads to health, true happiness, and enlightenment. Always watch and follow nature. There is no happiness for the soul in the external worlds, since these are perishable. True happiness lies in that which is eternal within us. Suffering in search of truth gives true meaning to the truth. Conceal your heart, control your mouth. Beware of releasing the restraints in you. Listen if you want to endure the mouth of hearers. Speak after you have mastered the craft. Every man is rich in excuses to safeguard his prejudices, his instincts, and his opinions. Peace is the fruit of activity, not of sleep. Examine what is said. Now, him who speaks. True teaching is not an accumulation of knowledge. It is an awakening of consciousness, which goes through successive stages. The best and shortest road towards knowledge of truth is nature. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. When you hold resentment toward another, you are bound to that person or condition by an emotional link that is stronger than steel. Forgiveness is the only way to dissolve that link and get free. He that cannot forgive others breaks the bridge over which he must pass himself. For every man has need to be forgiven. All major religious traditions carry basically the same message. That is love, compassion, and forgiveness. The important thing is they should be part of our daily lives. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. Let us forgive each other. Only then will we live in peace. Resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemies. True forgiveness is not an action after the fact. It's an attitude in which you enter each moment. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. The practice of forgiveness is our most important contribution to the healing of the world. Forgiveness is a funny thing. It warms the heart and cools the sting. Anger begets more anger, and forgiveness and love lead to more forgiveness and love. Most people don't listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. People need to listen at least as much as they need to talk. Too many people fail to realize that real communication goes both directions. Of all the skills of leadership, listening is the most valuable, and one of the least understood. Most captains of industry listen only sometimes, and they remain ordinary leaders, but a few The great ones never stop listening. That's how they get word before anyone else of unseen problems and opportunities. Wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you'd have preferred to talk. We have 2 ears and 1 tongue, so that we could listen more and talk less. Listening is an art that requires attention over talent, spirit over ego, others over self. You cannot truly listen to anyone and do anything else at the same time. One of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. Change happens by listening and then starting a dialogue with the people that are doing something you don't believe is right. Dying is easy. Beloved, it is living that is difficult. The secret is to live fully, to embrace every instant of existence, beautiful and ugly, blissful and painful, and remember to dance between the worlds, for that is your heritage as a child of the infinite oneness. Look at yourself in the mirror and see who you really are. You can't store corn in a basket with holes. Before you criticize someone else, take a look at your own tail. The greatest wisdom is in simplicity. Love, respect, tolerance, sharing, gratitude, and forgiveness. It's not complex or elaborate. Whoever walks with the wise will become wise, but the companion of fools suffers harm. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. A flower does not think of competing with the flowers next to it. It just blooms. Always be yourself and have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and try and duplicate it. Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. With realization of one's own potential and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. "20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sail, explore, dream, discover." Because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try and convince others. Because one is content with oneself, one doesn't need others' approval. Because one accepts oneself, the whole world accepts him or her. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Each time we face our fear, we gain strength, courage, and confidence in doing. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? We have to learn to be our own best friends, because we fall too easily into the trap of being our own worst enemies. Don't be satisfied with stories how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. Once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, spontaneous delight, or any experience that reveals the human spirit. Forgiveness is a virtue which is vital in spiritual growth. Forgiveness is a strong medicine for emotional suffering. By forgiving others, you extend mercy to those who have harmed us, even if we don't think they deserve it. Forgiving others gives a sense of inner strength. It shelters us from energy-draining anger and negative thoughts. It gives us the power to heal ourselves and allow us to move on. Holding on to resentment prevents a person from finding peace, but letting go of pain and extending a forgiving hand gives you a lighter heart. In addition, we're all humans and have one way or another hurt others. We've all committed sins and have our share of misdoings. Therefore, forgiving others shows that we also deserve to be forgiven for our mistakes. If our community practiced forgiveness on a regular basis, more people would be happier. Many people view forgiveness as something that helps the person being forgiven. It certainly can make them feel better, but forgiveness benefits you most of all. Listening is one of the most important skills you can have. How you listen to others has a major impact on your life. Actively listening to others allows you to be engaged in interesting and meaningful conversations. Being a good listener means that you are fully concentrating on what is being said. By being a good listener, you listen with the intent to understand, not with the intent to reply. You listen with all of your senses and give your full attention to the person speaking. Actively listening has plenty of benefits for personal growth. It allows you to learn from others as well as improve your relationships. It allows you to understand the point of view of another person and respond with empathy. Finally, it validates the speaker and makes them want to speak longer. It's not hard to see how this type of listening would benefit relationships. Here are some tips to help you become a better active listener. Start by making eye contact while you speak. Never interrupt the other person speaking. Interrupting can be interpreted that you don't value the opinion of the speaker, and it shows disrespect. In addition, don't have internal dialogue with yourself while the person is speaking. Pay attention and try and understand what the speaker is saying. If needed, ask clarifying questions. Analyze what the speaker has said before responding, and learn from what the speaker has said. Before you watch this video on being more productive or maximizing your productivity, be kind to yourself and your mistakes. Maximizing productivity takes time, and it can't be done overnight. A few adjustments can lead to more lasting changes, but those may take time and discipline, so be patient and kind through the rough patches, and try again. Actions such as setting small goals, making a reasonable to-do list, and stopping to multitask can be the keys to being more productive. In addition, focus on one goal at a time and try to identify your personal work patterns. Also, pay attention to your peak hours. Some might be more productive in the morning, while others at night. So find out what time of the day you're most productive. Equally important is grouping similar tasks together and doing work in a batch, as that saves time and energy. Don't forget to ask for help when needed. Decluttering the environment you work in is crucial. By doing all of the above, you will definitely improve your productivity. However, remember, it takes time to maximize your productivity, and to make that a good habit, be kind to yourself and take a break when needed. Here are some quotes from great people. In this video, we're going to see mystical and fascinating beliefs of ancient Mayan civilization and their wisdom about living a wholesome life. The Mayan staple diet was chia seeds. It's a superfood loaded in protein and fatty acids. It's essential in maintaining good cognitive functions. It delivers a massive amount of nutrients with very few calories. It lowers the risk of heart disease, as well as being high in important bone nutrients. The multiple family household is a part of the Mayan cultural tradition. Strong family and community ties have been linked with increased well-being and boosted immunity, as well as enhanced longevity. Habit, according to the Merriam Dictionary, is a settled tendency or usual manner of behavior. Humans are, by our nature, creatures of habit. Approximately 45% of our reported activities in a given day are habitual, performed automatically without much thought, but most of us fail to realize the importance of habits in our life. They shape your life far more than you probably realize. Habits are so powerful because they create neurological cravings. A certain behavior is rewarded by the release of pleasure chemicals, or dopamine in the brain. The automation of your actions frees up energy that can be used to focus on other tasks. When actions develop into habits, they become automatic, requiring little of the mental and emotional energy needed the first few times you attempt the action. Once the habit is formed and set, it becomes easier to follow through. The habits, whether good or bad, that you choose to follow will ultimately set the tone for your entire life. Note that your brain can't tell the difference between bad and good habits. You have to do that. You have to take control and decide what habits you want to have. Confidence is the key to having a happy life, because what we think in our minds about ourselves will eventually become what we believe. Self-confidence is considered one of the most attractive qualities anyone can have. But confidence is not an innate, fixed characteristic. It's an ability that can be acquired and improved over time. Being confident and projecting confidence helps people gain credibility, make a strong first impression, deal with pressure, and tackle personal and professional challenges. Confidence comes from feelings of well-being, acceptance of your body and mind, your self-esteem, and belief in your own ability, skills, and experience. To the Egyptians, the heart was the key to the afterlife. Therefore, it was considered the most important organ in the body. They believed it was a source of wisdom, emotion, and memory. The Osiris, the god of the afterlife, judges a person by weighing the heart. If the person did good deeds on earth, his heart would be light and he would gain a place in heaven. Having a heart as light as a feather means you have lived a life full of kindness and love. Having a light heart is also associated with bringing joy to their neighbors.